Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Milk Podcast. Thank you for joining us today. Today we have Jacob and Catherine. They're I met them at a photo shoot a couple weeks ago, and they were explaining to me that they're developing this app, and this app helps people connect with each other depending on their interests. And I thought that was really interesting. So I asked them if they'd be willing to come on here and talk a little bit about it, kind of like what the motivation behind it is, where they're at with it, and talk a little bit about that. I also understand Jacob was a refugee from Cambodia, and he has some interesting experiences with that. So I asked him if he would be willing to talk about that a little bit. So yeah, thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Moses.
So what got you guys started in what made you guys decide that you wanted to try to develop this app?
Well, it's a great question because here, we have to take ourselves back to as being a refugee and a little history about Cambodia.
Okay.
And not many people in the U.S. understand or know about the history of Cambodia. There was a dictator, and Pol Pot and his regime, the Khmer Rouge, had killed about a quarter of the population, about 2 million people. And anyone that was educated, or even if they wore glasses, they were eliminated. So, and for nearly 30 to 40 years of my life, I didn't understand why I was self-destructing. I saw my friends succeeding, whether that's in relationships, they're dating and everything else. They eventually get married, have a family, and they have a career, whereas I was struggling throughout life. And I couldn't understand it. I thought I was smart enough to get the grades, but I wasn't doing so well. So I wasn't this studious this typical stereotype of Asian studious type of kid. I wasn't one of those. And I became frustrated and resentful of life because I saw my friends progressing, but I wasn't. And this happened, like, I guess for a long while, and I didn't understand. So in 2015 is when I had a mentor, my former boss, who shared with me that I was self-destructing because my family had taught me not to stand out. And with that revelation came change. It came in the form of getting myself spiritually active. And then I got myself a road bike, and then I was physically active. Before, I was coping with life's failure and loneliness by isolating myself even further by playing video games. That was my coping mechanism, where I was able to escape life's reality because I found success. In a sense, this facade of success was more enticing to live in this world than in the actual world that we live in, right? And that's how started some of the changes. Then I got myself socially active because I became more confident and I wasn't playing video games anymore, so I was out and about doing things. That, I believe, was the healing process because now I was actively doing things, and being physically active, there's healing in physical activities. So I was no longer inside, and I started to connect with others because they were coming on adventures with me. One particular adventure that set this thing all off as to change my own perception of who I was, and others saw me differently, was when I brought 90 people to go up Mount St. Helens with me on a hike. And that they saw me as an event planner or a mountaineer, and I neither had done either of those before. And that's where a sense of, to answer your question, that was a long-winded, I had to give you the background of why we started this app, is because I wasn't living a fulfillment kind of lifestyle, and I wanted others to feel the same liberation that I was feeling, and also growth, because for the first time I was putting myself out and experiencing growth and experiencing life for the first time, and I wanted others to feel this way. So this adventure at Mount St. Helens sort of had ignited a desire to go back to school. And I went back to school after 20 years. And while at school, I was studying business management, and I chose entrepreneurship, not knowing that I was had any plans to be a business owner or entrepreneur. And I wanted to create something that would help others feel the same way, bring them on the same journey that I'm going on. I said I'm still going on this journey. And that's the purpose of the app, is to re-engage people to live life by gamifying life. Well, all this journey wasn't a certain design. It was more about I just wanted to do something.
Yeah.
And I sort of set my one foot in front of the other, right? Because I didn't know where this was taking me.
Uh-huh.
All I did was I decided to take small steps, literally small steps to get up to a mountain, right?
Right.
And so there was no pre-planning in the first place, or when even the creation, until I went to school. And then at that point, I said I wanted to help people make those changes by experiencing the things I would be able to, and to guide them in a way. So that's why we use AI and augmented reality, so that it be more immersive, and the AI will act as a companion or a mentor.
I see.
So that eventually you will become a mentor to the others.
Okay.
So that's how it shaped me. Not that this was predestined, like I made some plan when I grew up, because I was already grown up, right? I was my 40s by the time, and so this journey is still continuing because we're still in the process of developing this app called Numbered.
Okay, I see. Well, I think I can relate a little bit to that because I also was very sheltered growing up, and I felt like something kind of was missing, and I didn't understand what it was, but it was like, and I also found myself using video games to escape. So I know that I know kind of what that's like, and I also have a lot of friends and a lot of people that I met that I realize now looking back, that's all they did. Like a lot of them, all day, like they would work and then all the time they were home, just video games. And I knew that it was because they were trying to escape, and I would have a conversation, and every now and then they would open up about their like actual life, and they'd say, yeah, my relationships are destroyed with my family members or with myself, or I hate how I look, I hate how I am. And I realized, like what you're saying is that people sometimes their life is destroyed because they're living through that escape, through that fantasy, and they're too like afraid of like kind of like confronting life.
Right. I think that's one of the things that prevented it. You get enticed and you get more immersed in that because you get the feedback from others to be in the gaming world. You get feedback, whether that's through reward, accolades, reward in the sense of gear, weapons, armor, all that stuff.
Yes.
And that's, you see that success instantly. Where in life, life doesn't present itself as, well, you did something good, like for someone or letting someone in front of you cut in line.
Yeah.
You don't get the same instant gratification. So that makes it where it's rewarding, you see that, but in actual life, it doesn't give you that sense of accomplishment. This is the process which we hope that we can help change, so that people can see that it may not, but you can see your journey or adventure if you go with others. We want to have people experience life not just alone, but with others. In that process of creation, in that process of shared experience, you actually form genuine connections, and that's what's lacking in current social networking platforms.
So from our last conversation, what I understood is that numbered is supposed to connect people. Kind of you put in like your interests, and then it matches you with people that have similar interests. Is that kind of how it works?
Yes, partly.
Okay.
Catherine, would you like to share on that?
Sure. So it's kind of like a bucket list is a portion of that. You know, like we all have goals that we want to accomplish in our lives, and I believe there's two reasons why we don't accomplish those things. One, money.
Yeah.
Two, and we're trying to do it all by ourselves.
That too.
And so with the numbered, as this being a tool, our AI will be able to help connect you with others, you know, with the same kind of interests that you have, or it could be also if you're looking for some kind of job or something, you know, depending on what you what the information that you give the AI about yourself, then you know, then the AI will be able to take that information and be able to help connect you in the different areas. So we want to do things in a holistic way, right? So we want people's spiritual, emotional, physical, financial, all these different areas we want to address, right? Because there are many people who are very active, let's say at the gym, but they lack in other areas. And so one of the benefits of having the AI, or one of the functionalities of the AI, will be able to help balance you out and make sure that the other areas of your life are being attended to. So that is a wonderful ability that the AI will be able to have. I also wanted to touch upon too, as you were sharing your experience, and Jacob as well. When people are isolated for whatever reason, you know, they want to mask it in some way. When I met Jacob, he shared with me what his experience, you know, was and what he's creating, and I thought, this is amazing. I've been through a lot of trauma in my life, and so I didn't really play video games, but I isolated myself in other ways, and so that was very lonely, and I was dealing with a lot of things that come with trauma. And so I became very intrigued and wanted to be a part of building Numbered, because I felt like this is a phenomenal tool that would have been so helpful for me to have had as I was experiencing these things that were so hard and traumatic for me.
So if you had Numbered when you were going through those things, how do you think that it would have like helped you? Like, what do you think? What do you expect to have gotten out of it?
A mentor.
A mentor? Okay.
And as Jacob has had a mentor in his life to help give him some kind of direction and help him be able to see, okay, this is kind of what's happening, you know, that there's some changes that need to be made. Because when you don't have a mentor or some kind of tool to help guide and direct you, you feel stuck. You feel more closed off. You don't know where to begin. You don't know who you should talk to or whatever. And so the wonderful thing about our AI is it will be tailored to your needs and, you know, where you are on the map of life. You know, there will be good, better, and best choices that will be suggested for you. You know, that you can choose that, you know, can be good or better, best, you know, to help your progression.
So when you're filling out, because you said that this will kind of help you balance you out, right? So do you already have like a pre-made chart of what the areas will be, or do you think, or do you like fill it in as you're signing up for the app, or is it like like you talk to the AI and with time the AI just like gathers the information and starts building kind of like both? Oh, okay.
So, because not a lot of people want to fill out a whole list of surveys and questionnaires and so forth. The process, the AI will glean whatever information that's pertinent to the individual. And then they can actually share whether they have relevant, and they will connect them that connect you with relevant people. For example, back to the whole adventure, because part of this is an adventure app or a self-improvement or personal development app. In that, if you had climbed one of the quests might be climb Mount Tibanogus, you get 1,500 points, right? Along the way, and if you achieve that goal, RAI or these other outdoors companies will say, well, you get a carabiner or a backpack or whatever it is that you achieve. But now, when you were asking the question, how do you match those interests? Some people have stated on their, let's say, dating app, right? That they're hikers, but you don't know how often they've been on hiking. Okay,
Yeah, that's true.
so now we know that you've been actually on Mount Rainier, Mount Timpanogos, the avenues, Twin Peaks avenues. Now we have relevant people who actually can be attached to you, in a sense. Now that you can progress at someone that can stretch you or someone that you could help, instead of being that, oh, this person only hiked a 1 mile trail and that's about it. So this is where it becomes more relevant, more tailored to your needs.
That sounds very powerful. That sounds like it has a lot of potential because it will really like fully understand you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. That's really exciting and wow. I remember I had this conversation with somebody, my old teacher. He's now now a professor at BYU, and we were talking about AI, and this was before like ChatGPT came out, and I remember I was like, I don't know if this will like help people or if it'll be kind of like a danger, and now that ChatGPT is out, I'm realizing how helpful it is. I use ChatGPT as like a therapist. Very often. It gives me very tailored data as to what I'm going through day to day, and it is an incredibly powerful tool. It is so ridiculously powerful, and now as you're explaining this app, I can kind of I visualize the potential. You know.
Yes. Sorry to interrupt. There's this part of it where you're saying it. You're speaking to another, like in the therapist, because what we want. There's a feature in there in our app is journaling.
Oh, okay.
You would speak into, in a sense, you can say to your AI, your mentor, and it will account for the items of things you experienced that day or that week or that month. In that process, it will be able to guide whether that's a therapist or a friend. Yeah. We want to look at more of a friendship kind of deal, because here now what makes it powerful is that we're going to take certain principles that have been throughout history. For example, the golden rule, right? You treat others as you want to be treated. Yeah. And these are the principles we will teach our AI. It is principle based. It's not a matter of we want to be doom scrolling all throughout the day. We want actually to be physically active or engaged in life. That's the purpose of this app, or this purpose of our AI's name, Leah. So Leah is spelled Liah. So that it's short, and it's an acronym. L stands for light. Okay. So the AI will bring truth to you about who you are as an individual. So whether that's you have a certain disposition for being an artist or an engineer, it will guide you in those paths. And so I stands for inspires. So once you understand who you are as an individual and your worth, which is very important, because once you understand your potential, you can now put motion in your life. So hopefully we can inspire you into action. So the A is for the action. And we hope in the process, you hope for a better life. Those H is for Leah. So that is there. I messed it up, but there you have it.
Is it? It's Leah with an H at the end, or what does the H stand for again? Hope. Oh, hope. I see.
Sorry, it's like I said, I didn't deliver it quite well.
No, you're fine. I see. I think, action is the hardest part for most people, right?
I think so, but if you gain the understanding of your potential, you're not just this character anymore in the playing a video game. If you understand what your character or what you're able to do, it gives you power or faith to act. That's the important aspect of it, because if you didn't understand that you can run and you don't have the ability to run, but if you understand that you actually do have that ability, you will take a little small step in the process, and eventually you'll be able to run, faster than you thought you could. So with life, that's how you figure out. It's like blood. You understand that if you put faith in that light switch over there, you hit the light switch, it will bring a light bulb, then light it up. You act, otherwise you won't. So once you understand the limitation, I always like to give another example. Climbing. I don't know if you like rock climbing.
I don't do it personally, but I have a lot of respect for people that do. I know it's very hard.
Yes. At first, the hard part for me was understanding that the gear would save me, because you're looking at a thin rope, right? And you're climbing, and you're thinking if you drop, you might come to your death if you fall, right? But if you start to understand what the physics of that rope and its potential, the material that it can save your life greater than your fall. So if you understand that principle, and then you understand that these carabiners and you put your faith in your friend who belays you, now it gives you power to act. You might not be perfect in your understanding, but you have the understanding that you can reach for the rock above you, and in case you do fall, you know that the gear would support your weight. Right? That which gives you power. Once you understand that, so if you understand your ability to do algebra, calculus, draw, a perfect circle like one of the great artists has done, and that will give you power to act.
So, Leah will communicate to the user based on what they're doing, the user's potential.
Yes.
It'll say like, oh, like if you keep on going on this path, you're capable of being here.
Right.
Here.
Exactly. So it could act, as Catherine has said earlier, on the map of life. You are now here through your experience, your likes, your dislikes, your dispositions, your love languages, whatever it is. It basically has a profile of you as an individual and shares with you that you have the potential to become an artist, an engineer, a rocket scientist, nuclear scientist, whatever it might be. You now understand that you have potential, and that mentor is able to shape you in a way that will guide you and nudge you out of your comfort zone. Small steps. We're not actually having people like making major leaps,
Right, but that will come with time, right?
Yes.
And also, yes, we have AI as a mentor, but we also can have a human mentorship as well. And you yourself, when you reach a certain skill level, let's just say, then you have been prepared and ready in a sense, because you've grown to a certain point to where now you can mentor someone else, who is where you were.
I have kind of a strange question. Do you think that the AI will be able to capture your essence? Like once you say you do become ready to be a mentor, right? But because the AI trained you to that level to where you are a mentor, do you think that the AI starts learning from the person who becomes a mentor, so it can kind of not duplicate you, but understand you and then use that information that it got from you to teach other people through the AI, not directly as a person?
Yes. So, because the whole point of the AI is also on this journey of development, because it's trying to understand what is humanity, what it makes shape the engineer, what is the mindset of an engineer or a profiler or whatever profession they want to become, because it will be able to do an assessment or aptitude of the individual and what potential they can become. In that process, then it can take that learning of that individual and translate it, because there are similarities between individual, even though they may be unique. There's certain, green personalities, blue personalities, or whatever it might be. So you have all these different types.
What if somebody like um wants to do something that's bad, like even if they don't like see it as something bad, but say they're like resentful and they're like, oh, like I want to get back at like this person that like hurt my feelings, or and like will it just kind of like guide them towards the like a better path or like a
Yes.
better response?
Earlier we mentioned that each of the decisions that you make, you can shape it in a way. It shapes you in a sense that hopefully based on principles, eternal principles, if you want to look at it, or principles that have lasted thousands of years. I joke with Catherine that because I'm a Chinese heritage, even though I was born in Cambodia,
Yes.
Chinese, they have wisdom from thousands and thousands of years, right?
Yes.
There are many principles that have lasted, where if you're kind to another person, you'll receive that same kindness in return.
Yes.
So these principles will be the foundation, the bedrock in which the AI will guide. It will help you in saying, this might not be a good decision that you're making. Have you considered these are the consequences of your decisions? It might give you, enlighten you, or share with you light or truth about these decisions, right? And then because part of growth, it will allow you, as with life, for you to act on those decisions, whether they're good or bad. It will eventually help you, guide you, hopefully to back onto the path if you had slipped your way or this way or that way. Okay, maybe eating a Twinkie or two too often is not good for you.
Man, they're just so good. I love Twinkies.
So I think that's where it will help individuals, because some individuals share the similar disposition. They still, again, like uniqueness, but there are certain things that maybe happen in life that's the same. Everyone drives, right? And sometimes some people cut that individual off. So the AI can say, hey, you can either honk your horn, or you can get road rage, or whatever it might be, or think about why did they do that. It might help you understand why could this person have reason why they did so is because unintentionally they were in an emergency and they had to cut you off. Yeah. So if you realize that this individual, we haven't really gone far as far how far much it would enact if you had two individuals, and it might bring up, depending on the privacy settings, why this person was doing that way. Maybe because they were in it, they need to get to the hospital soon or something, right? So it depends. I won't say it depends, but
yeah, as the app develops, I imagine that it'll become like more intricate because you guys are still in the development phase.
yes.
But yeah, so what phase are you in the development phase? Would you say?
Oh goodness gracious, that's a difficult question because we've had our own speed bumps along the way. We had a software architect who was bringing it to alpha stage and then ghosted us and took the code with him.
Oh no.
And then we had a advisor that became a technical partner, and she failed us in front of a investor when we were supposed to have an alpha again. And so we are pretty much almost in a sense starting all over again, because now we have partnered with a gentleman who has developed apps before, and he has an energy company. And so this also branched out for us that we are creating a strategic intelligence and integration firm. And that's another project we are in, which anyway has amazing benefits for the world as far as bringing infrastructure.
We're back. So maybe it cut you off, but you were saying that you're in the development stage where you're almost having to start over because you've had some difficulties with the people that are supposed to help you guys develop the app. You said alpha. I'm not really sure what that means.
Well, I'm not a technical person, so when I enter this, I won't give you the whole detail about what is an alpha, what is a beta, a certain stage in the development of the app.
Okay.
A beta would be where you will be able to test out and play with the features. An alpha is more of the code, as I understand it. So it's a prior process before the alpha, before the beta, and then the actual official launch of the product. So that's where it's at.
I see.
But with our partner, we can get this in launch hopefully within 6 months
Okay.
or within a year. And so that's where we're hoping this will go.
Okay, that's pretty exciting. I look forward to that. I look forward to once it's done, maybe testing it out and like the
Sure.
first stages.
I'd be happy to let you know where we are, and when we get to that point, we'll share it with you.
That's awesome. Well, we're gonna wrap up. I'd like to ask each of you, once it's done, say 5 years from now, say it comes out a year from now, and then 5 years from that year, Catherine, what do you want people to say about the app?
What do I want to say about other people say about the app?
Yeah.
I would say that this is a tool that helped them to achieve the goals that they were wanting to achieve, but more importantly, to see that they have progressed in their lives. That it's a tool that is a blessing in their life, and that it could bless other people's life if they choose to use it. So.
That's wonderful. I think we need more of that, in the world. Too many people are stuck. So, with their goals and with their life. So, I love that. What would you like for them to say about the app?
I guess one of the mission of Numbered is to alleviate the loneliness epidemic.
Oh, jeez, that's a tough one.
Right.
Yeah.
So we would love to see that people say, I have created new friends. I have genuine friends, not just people you add onto your Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram where you don't really do anything with them. We hope that they will have a sense of fulfillment because their life is richer, so they can feel like I can talk to someone in life, and that in itself would be more meaningful for me. It's like, because a lot of vices, illness, or I don't know, you want to call it depression or anything else, any health issues, is because not a lot of people are connected, really connected. And that friendship is important to me. I hope that people will find that they've found a friend on an adventure, and that process would help them progress through life because they no longer feel lonely, and they are now moving because they have someone to go on this adventure life and not just a journey of loneliness.
And that their life will be more fulfilled, or feeling more fulfilled because they have those connections.
That's very beautifully put. I'm definitely in that stage where that's something that is important to me, and that's something that I'm working towards. And I have a lot of friends that also feel very lonely. So that's a very honorable mission, and it's a very important one, and it's one that the world definitely needs. Both of those, reaching your goals, not like finding a way to overcome them, especially when you feel like you're stuck, when your trauma is pulling you down and you don't understand what it is. And like you said, the loneliness, being able to connect with people, being able to genuinely feel fulfilled because you're actually enjoying life and people are enjoying you and you're actually expressing yourself. I'm so excited. I know you guys have a lot of passion about this, and that's what I love. And I'm so glad that you guys were willing to come here and talk
Thank
to
you
and
for
talk
your
about
time.
it.
Appreciate for having us.
Well, thank you, Catherine and Jacob, and thank you to anybody who decided to invest this couple minutes to hear this story. Yeah, thank you.